Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to share something a bit different with you. Arrtx kindly sent me some of their acrylic markers to try out, and I'll be giving you all my honest opinion while I work on this cute little illustration. I'll also be talking about how I've been dealing with art block recently and sharing some tips that have helped me push through it. If you're interested in these markers, I've linked them in the description below so you can check them out. I've been seeing these acrylic paint pens all over TikTok and Instagram, and I've been dying to try them out. So when Arrtx reached out to me and offered to send me some for me to review, I couldn't wait to get my hands on them. These are the 30A acrylic marker set from Arrtx in pastel colors. The set has a lot of greens and pinks, so if you love working with softer palettes or drawing greenery, this set might be perfect for you. The markers have a really nice brush tip, which lets you get fine details while still covering a good amount of space, depending on how you tilt the brush tip. And the best part is you don't have to shake or press them to activate. You just open the box and they're ready to use. The set also came with sticker labels that you have to put on each marker yourself. Some people find this annoying, while others find it therapeutic. For me, it was a mix of both. I like stickers, so peeling and placing them was kind of fun. But the stickers didn't all match up perfectly to the pens. At first, I wasn't sure which sticker went on which marker because they weren't in the exact order. But I just associated each sticker with a marker and did a little swatch test, and it was fine. The caps though, they are pretty accurate to the marker colors, which is a huge relief, because that's not always the case and it really annoys me, so this is definitely a win. When I did my swatch test, I was really impressed with how opaque and pigmented these markers are. If you mess up and need to color over a dark area, these markers will do it nicely, even light colors over dark ones. They remind me a lot of gouache, which is one of my favorite mediums, so I had a good idea of how to work with them. They layer beautifully and blend easily too. There's two ways I use for blending. You can blend by layering two colors together, or you can use your finger to smudge them while they're still wet. I found both ways work really well depending on what you're going for. Using the layering method makes for a more smooth transition of colors, so I mainly stick to that. Just make sure to do your blending while the paint is still wet, because once it dries, it stays matte and it won't blend anymore. One thing I did notice is that on some of the markers, the tips were a bit flaky or frayed right out of the box. I'm not sure what the right word for this is. I only saw this on two markers, on one of the blue shades and the light purple. I personally didn't think it was that big of a deal because it was only two markers. However, when I started painting with all the markers and layering them, I found that if you paint on too many layers while the paint is still wet, the paint or the brush will flake, no matter what marker you use. It is minimal though, unless you really pile on the layers, but it's something to keep in mind. The plan is drawing these two ladies here. I've already played around sort of on what colors I'm going to be using for their skin, and I did a few variations of hair. I also did some different leaves here just to keep in mind on what kind of leaves I want to do, and I think I'm leaning for this blue hair and this pink hair. I did try this one out, but it feels a bit too much blending, too complicated, so I think I'm going to stick with a pretty easy, pretty simple art style. And I actually sketched this out on Procreate first just to make sure I have what I want, and then I just pretty much traced and ready to start. I am currently using a sketchbook with 120-pound sheets. I did do a test on a different sketchbook made for watercolors with 135-pound sheets, and while there was less flaking, it still happened a bit on heavily layered areas. So it seems the flaking is more about how much paint you layer rather than the paper itself. At the end of the day, I don't think it's that bad. You just have to be careful not to overwork the markers or the paper. You can use 2 or 3 layers of paint while wet and then wait for it to dry, which doesn't really take long. and then keep on blending and layering and you should be fine. Another thing I noticed, some of the darker colors like shades 30 and 32 blue and 69 green look lighter when wet, but show their true color once fully dried. This isn't really a problem, it's just something to be aware of, as this happens with many paints, not just acrylic markers. Also, be careful not to leave the markers uncapped for too long because they can dry a little bit. I left a few uncapped while blending and the tip dried out just a bit, but I was able to fix it by pressing down on the tip and re-wet it. Overall, I really am enjoying these markers. I think they are a great addition to your art supplies, super fun to play with, and they're at an affordable price point, which is great. And I think I am really getting the hang of them now, especially with blending, so I am excited to keep on using them for future drawings. I wanted to take a moment to talk about something that's been on my mind lately. I've been feeling a bit creatively drained, and I think a lot of us can relate to that. I spent hours on Pinterest trying to find that perfect reference, but nothing seems perfect enough for what I have in mind. It's like you want to create, but nothing really clicks. So I've been exploring a few ways to work through this, and I thought it might be helpful to share what's been helping me get my creative flow. Two of the most common causes of art block are mental and physical exhaustion. So if you're having art block, my first piece of advice is to take a break. Seriously, just step away for a bit. Go outside, touch some grass, breathe in the fresh air. You probably need it. If you keep pushing yourself to create something and it's just not working out, nothing good's gonna come from it. You're gonna get more and more frustrated and it's gonna get worse. Try watching a movie or your favorite TV show. There's usually something in there that will spark inspiration. Personally, I love watching Studio Ghibli or the Spider-Verse movies because of their amazing style and story. It helps me relax while still keeping the creative side of my brain active. But yeah, going outside can be super helpful. Take a walk, go to the beach or a park. Do something that you enjoy. Just being in nature can really reignite that part of your brain. Just the fact of going outside and observing your surroundings, making sure to pay attention to everything, this inspires me and I'm sure it can help you out too. My next tip for you is to do studies. Pick something you're struggling with and focus on that. For me, one thing I struggle with is anatomy. When I'm overwhelmed with too many choices and I'm not sure what to draw, I just decide to do a study. It could be anything: anatomy, animals, landscapes, cityscapes, whatever you feel you need to work on. Do some research, look at how your favorite artists handle those subjects, and learn from them. If you want, I can make a whole video on how to do studies from different artists' work. Just let me know in the comments below. For now, you can see some of my previous studies of the human body, focusing on the torso, arms, and hands. I haven't tackled feet yet, but that's next on my list. I like to use art books a lot for this. They're super helpful. If you want more info on all of my art books, you can check the description below. Remember, your studies don't have to be perfect or pretty. You don't have to post them. They're just for your improvement. This way, you're still being creative, but without the pressure of coming up with something entirely new. And after taking a break and doing some studies, you might find your creative spark again and be ready to tackle new projects. The next tip I have is to try something new. Whether it's a new medium or a new drawing subject, go out of your comfort zone and try something different. For me, I've been drawing digitally non-stop for the past 4 years and I've hardly touched my traditional art supplies at all. So using these acrylic markers really helped me get out of the funk I was in. There's just something about traditional art that can't be replicated with digital mediums. I find myself being more free and making more creative choices when I draw on paper. There's no undo button, you have a limited color palette, not every color known available like on a tablet. All these factors really make you think, and you have to make the medium work for you to create what you have in mind. And especially trying something new like these markers added a level of excitement that really helped me get through it. I think they're a great way to switch things up if you've been stuck in a creative rut. So if you're feeling blocked, maybe give a new medium a shot. It might just be what you need. My last tip for you is to join an art challenge. Some popular ones that come to mind are the Draw This in Your Style challenge, Inktober, Humember, or Mermaid. You can also try using drawing prompts or even recreate some of your old art pieces. Joining a challenge can really help take the pressure off creating something completely original from scratch. Instead of starting with a blank canvas, you have a prompt or assignment in front of you that you can interpret and create in your own way. I find myself being the most creative when I'm participating in these challenges because they push me to think outside the box while still giving me some direction. Plus, it's so much fun to see how other artists interpret the same prompt in their own style. There's a real sense of community that comes from it that I love. If you haven't joined any challenges yet, I highly recommend giving it a try. You can easily search for drawing challenges on Instagram or TikTok, and I guarantee you'll find tons of options to choose from. Whether you're looking for something seasonal like Inktober or you just want to explore different themes, there's a challenge out there for literally everyone. One bonus tip is to manage your own expectations. Remember, your art is never going to be perfect, and that's completely okay. It's easy to get caught up in trying to create a masterpiece every time, but that kind of pressure can actually fuel art block. Instead, draw because you love it, because it brings you joy, not because you're trying to meet some unrealistic standard. It's also important not to compare yourself to other artists. Everyone is on their own journey. Some might draw more often or seem to improve faster, but that doesn't mean you're not progressing too. If you feel the need to compare, look at how far you've come compared to your past self. Appreciate your own progress. Art is a personal journey, and it's about enjoying the process as much as the final result. So let go of the need for perfection and keep pushing through these blocks with patience and self-compassion. That's all I have for you today. Once again, a huge thank you to Arrtx for sending me these markers. I have a feeling I'll be reaching for them a lot. I'd love to hear from you. Have you guys tried these markers before? Do you guys have any tips for overcoming art block? Let me know in the comments below. If you're interested in trying out the markers for yourself, be sure to check out the links in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. Can't wait to see you on the next one. Until then, take care.